Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to a bit of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. I apologise in advance that I look a total fucking mess. But yeah, I'm hoping that we're going to have a nice time today. Not think too much about the industry. If there is one thing I will say, the Steam Spring Sale is now on, I think, until the 21st of March. So yeah, there's no gimmicks as far as I can tell. Yeah, from I think it was like the 14th of March to 21st. So you got like a good week or so. Some good deals on there. If you are interested in buying any, of course. So they're selling stuff. Okay. What was fast mode again? Fast mode is F. That's good. I love the voice acting. It is absolutely phenomenal. Well, let me see what you have. They have infinite supplies of medical supplies. Yeah, so I don't really need any of these just yet. Because these are all basically for the crew that we need to talk about later. Strange tablet. This stone tablet is wrapped in a rich leather and engraved with a flowing vertical script in a language you've never seen before. Kalaki ba Alicia. Sukiru yu segu nimun su kalaki ba sikoku. Sikhu ye segu salasu. May... Oh, fuck that, I'm not reading all that. Okay, so I thought it was just going to be that sentence there. Why not? I'll buy it for 80. Death some more. Okay, head. Grants death runes. Being near a killed enemy grants temporary damage reduction. Nice. For 1,000, I will certainly buy that. I'll buy some antidotes as well. A battle-worn grimoire. Okay. So I think grimoires in this game are a little different. In that you have to, like, you can only scribe so many spells to that book, and then you have to buy more and more books. So it's not like Eloth, for example, can have just one grimoire. He has to have lots of different grimoires with lots of different spells in. So it's a bit of a pain, I think, but we'll see how that goes. We've paid that much. Have we got anything in our stash that we can get rid of? Let's have a look at weapons. What? Right. Okay. Why haven't they... Where's the sword function? Why has that gone? You don't need a actually, you might need a crossbow, so yeah. Yeah, why has that gone exactly? That just seems really fucking weird to me. I can search, that's good. That's really good. But again, where's the search function? Right, I don't want you wearing helms. You're too good looking for that. You can also hide cloaks as well, that's kind of cool. If you have any. Which I do not. I think I look good with the Valiant hat, so I think I'll wear that. Troll hide belt, so that's going to benefit you more. Gorn's Pledge, no, I won't use that just yet. So you got a sickle that does certain stuff. But and on scoring kills, that's okay. That can increase. Wow, it increases with religion skill. Okay. Yeah, we might be keeping that sickle for a good long while yet. Okay. About stash, what weapons do we have? Do we have anything that might benefit you? Spears one-handed? No, they're two-handed. So it's slightly better. It also has reach as well, so that's good at keeping enemies at bay, but never is going to be necessary. Oh, can I, Yes, I can. I can dual wield pistols. Isn't that fucking marvellous? Bugger, what weapons do I have equipped? Dagger. I can have a dagger and a pistol. Don't even ask me how that works. I have no idea. So, there's a bit of a recap. So, God stepped on our house, and we're trying to find him. But we're also going to do some odd jobs around here as well. So let's have a look at what it is, because I think it's been a short while since I listened to the part. So we're going to do these ones. So the lighted path, that's going to be more difficult, obviously. Fine, fair enough. Burning bridges, here we are. Okay, fine. So I've got to find someone in the Hawana village. So there's lots I can do around. We also need to speak to Governor Clario, who we were told could find at their estate. So we'll go there and have a chat, and just try and pick up as many quests as we can in town. Then we can move out, and yeah, just get everything done in one go.
It's done.
So that's theft, that's theft, that's theft. With all that has happened, it is a wonder we do not have a rat on our hands. Governor Clario. A long and excruciatingly detailed list of running accounts from local vendors to visiting supply merchants.
Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valiant Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port Maje.
To Port Maje, that's the pronunciation. Hopefully, because, you know, the voice direction is good, we're not going to hear multiple pronunciations.
I'd like to say the pleasure's all mine, but I try not to lie. Don't worry, I'm only here on account of you.
She bobs her head in your direction.
Of course. I see you've been as quick to involve yourself as...
Clario's tone is polite, but there's a strained edge to his wide smile as he turns from Shoti and addresses you.
Or as I have been taught, may Amira's winds blow sweet upon you.
So because I'm an island Amar, and I'm from the Deadfire archipelago, they're going to give you a different greeting. Juana pejorative. Meaning idiot. Alohi. Kiamai. Indicating gratitude.
They say life on the island has done terrible things to my Valiant. Juana is improving. Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times and react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge.
Strange events.
A few, well, quite a few people here in Port Maje claim to have seen a giant of some kind during the storm. I would call it a flight of fancy, but unless something has tainted every well in the region, I do not think it can be ignored. But then, the Deadfire is a land full of such things. You must have heard the stories.
That wasn't just a giant, that was Earth's. The government mouth's voices. Ah, understanding. Let's let for a moment.
You'll find good company among the Dawn Stars here in town. They have all manner of theories concerning the behemoth. Now, to the matter of your ship. You're stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those burst in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn.
I'd be happy to help in any way I can.
Marvelous. You've washed ashore like a sign from the gods themselves. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them.
Of course.
There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade.
In fact, it's the very reason many of us are here. Okay. History. I know the luminous Ardra is native to the Deadfire.
It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing.
How valuable?
Valuable enough to make sailing across the world seem like a sound investment. We, and I hope you understand that these matters require some discretion, have one such outpost on the other side of the island. A successful venture up until very recently. We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise. And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that a giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that? We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If Odorisi, if his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk. Gilad, then we are agreed.
Fuck.
I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map here.
You'll do it for the Watcher, but not for me? I see how it is.
Yes. Why wouldn't I want a pack of Dawn Stars crawling over my Adra mine in search of their lost deity? One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Can you tell me about more Port Maje?
Certainly. It may not have the grandeur of Ostia or Enchanze, but I am proud of what we have created here. We've established strong supply lines, and our research rivals any performed in the republics on better days.
What about the Juana?
They keep to themselves for the most part. We have little reason to interfere, and any Juana willing to work are paid for it. We get a few of those. Perhaps village life is too simple for them. They say things are very different under Queen Onekaza II. She has unified many of the Juana under her banner. Ikawa is one of the last holdouts. It works fine for our purposes. She is easier to negotiate with.
Okay. But why build an outpost here in the first place?
Scouts reported finding Ingwithan ruins along with a promising Adra vein, and the locals were welcoming enough. Any venture of this size is difficult. Even so, the hard part was not convincing people to join us, but weeding out undesirable individuals. We lowered our standards in the end.
Okay. Are there many outposts here in the Deadfire?
Not long ago, the whole archipelago was beneath notice, a place of warring tribes and grotesque sea beasts. Now, it seems every ruler on Aurora wants an island of their own. The lands here belong to the Juana, for now. If you ask the Royal Deadfire Company,
Royal Deadfire Company is a trading company owned by the Raudnai government and largely staffed by current and former members of Raudnai's considerable navy. It imports staple foods and commodities to the resource-poor Raudnai mainland.
Dispatched by the Ranganui of Raudnai himself,
The Ranganui are the rulers.
or king, perhaps.
I like that he adds it there rather than just we're expecting us to hover over the text.
Not long of the lands here.
And the Valiant Trading Company?
Well, we are not here to rule. We will be here so long as it benefits the republics. War does not benefit the republics. For the moment. If you have any questions at all, really, at your pleasure. Yes? Indeed.
So, last time I supported Juana, I believe. Yeah, they seem to offer the most support that aligned with me. I can't remember exactly all the details, but yeah. Let's go to Port Maje Hall. See what's here. So, yeah.
Yes? What is it I can do for you?
The watch commander looks up at you after her listless greeting, and you notice that she has a dark bruise around one eye. She grimaces, but does not turn away. I assume, what happened to you?
What happened? I showed the drunken fool more patience and respect than he deserved, and he struck me without warning.
Sientere, Savia. You know that I was aiming for Darmo's pretty face.
Something you wanted?
There's many guards around here.
We are stretched thin. The storm speaker did much to help, but much of the town has flooded. Now we are awash in homeless citizens and stranded merchants, to say nothing of the cultists out there. Now I have Ilari's people making trouble up on Gorechi Street. His little gang is looting everything they can get their hands on, and the Bozzo kicks up his heels like a prince.
Hands over the penis, in a pejorative sense.
Lucky for you that I'm around. I humbly offer my services. Let me out and I will bring you this Ilari's teeth.
Shut it, Ruggieri.
Jerry, okay. I think it's here in Port Maje.
We lost no one to the storm, but many homes have been damaged, and the people are terrified of this giant the scouts reported. It is chaos, pure and simple, but things might have been far worse.
I could go speak to this Solarian.
Kue, I cannot say it would not be welcome, but you are only recently arrived, and not I hear by choice. Why do this?
So if they go back Knights, you can go with your mercenary background, or them. They're paladins for hire. They believe payment is a form of a binding contract and hold it impartially as a high virtue. Seems only sensible to be on good terms with the commander.
And you are a sensible man, I see. Fair enough. Gorechi Street is in the western part of town. Just walk until you hit water. We don't need a bloodbath. I'm sure there's a peaceful solution to resolve this.
Oh. So Ruggieri.
Ado, stranger. Or is it captain? You have the carriage of a captain. A noble bearing all around.
The man in the cell wobbles slightly as he steps forward, fixing an eager smile and glassy gaze upon you.
Abrego, you must free me. I am a creature of the sea. I am not meant for this dark place. I will dry and wither like a landed fish.
What did you do to end up in there?
I did no one any harm. I am at the Kraken's eye so often Thorol should pay me. I sample every bottle for quality. My loyalty has given him heirs. I would have paid what I owed in time, had I the coin.
So, I don't like romanticized alcoholism. I make the exception here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in drink that much, but also so like drink culture, or rather, I think like the yobbish side of drink culture. You know, I'd absolutely say that, you know, people who sniff wine glasses and things like that, and you know, alcoholics are very much part of that Venn diagram that is drink culture, but it's opposite. It's clearly opposite ends of the spectrum. But yeah, but this I actually don't mind. This is actually quite funny,
You walked out on a tab reject,
and it's fictional.
nothing to boast of. And then you crawled up to the governor's estate, pissed on the steps, and resisted arrest.
Well, I do not remember that at all. Right on the steps? I am sorry for the last. I tell you, Xavier, I cannot help my magnificent reflexes. You were being very grabby.
Do you know your way around a ship?
Do I know ships? He asks. I know every vessel on these waters, every one. From the galleon to the... every one of them, sir. You have everything. These fists will drive them into the waiting arms of the sea goddess.
I could use you on my crew. What do you need me to do?
You see how fate has brought us together? The ice-hearted guard. She has set my fine at 400 pyres. I have none. I flounder here until the debt is paid. A matter of coin. 400 beautiful coins. That or the key, yes? The door is the thing. The commander, she guards the keys like a jealous wife. It would take steady hands to slip it from her pocket. That is, if you have need of keys at all. You think me idle to ask this of you and do nothing? I have scratched, sir, a little mortar from beneath the bars at the window at every chance. The stonework, it is very strong. I can do nothing by hand. With tools, perhaps. With explosives, for certain. Norgund, in the Kraken's Eye, he carries many such useful items. All for legitimate use, of course. Animancers, they love explosives.
Okay. So I like there's a number of ways to do this quest. And the explosives, okay, fine.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
Any chance you'll lower Ruggieri's? Was it Ruggieri? I don't just want to go Regier. Ruggieri.
Ecossy. Why should I do that? To show my appreciation for his aim? Ruggieri is a drunk and a fool. Do not trouble yourself on his behalf. Something you wanted?
I'll come back. Maybe we can lower the fine. No. No, let's not. I don't want good day. Let's go to the Kraken's Eye. Let's see what's going on here, if there's anything that might interest us at all. You walk into a tavern. That's how all good stories start.
Sorry, we haven't any rooms for you.
The rather large man behind the counter glances your way, smiling grimly. This just got a bit like this guy is clearly a reference to the innkeeper in Baldur's Gate 1, right? Bold, fat. It's Al Murray! Thor L. Murray. Pub landlord. My tavern's as clean as an elven arse!
Guessing the other one came in off that shipwreck down south. Not sure if that's good luck or bad, but here, I figure you deserve a drink.
Thanks. What's this about the rooms?
We're full up. You aren't the first outsider to turn up looking for a place to stay after their ride off the island ended up at the bottom of the sea.
I've got one room ought to have been cleared out by now. Only the occupants decided to outstay his welcome. He's a merchant captain by the name of Galleon. I've given him a fair chance, but he's been a right prick about the whole thing. I've got a spare key here. You chase him and his pals off, and the room's yours. At a discount.
You want him dead?
What? No! I said chase him off, not kill my patrons. Now I'm not so sure about asking you, honestly.
Oh, I've got a shady reputation now, I think. What if he won't leave willingly?
Ah, well. He's a prat, but he's not so tough. Smack him around if it comes down to it. But I figure a few sharp words ought to do the trick.
I'll see what I can do.
Appreciate it, truly. I'll have someone tidy the place up for you once you're through. Chances are they've spilled ale just about everywhere. I don't want the man dead, and that's not what I'm paying for. Just see him on his way and we'll call it done.
Yes? Of course.
A giant. Thomas mad.
Maybe. There are strange things out there.
You cannot think it is really one of the gods.
No, but a weapon perhaps.
Merla, I hope not.
I do like the voice dialogue around the areas as well. I know voice acting is expensive. Well, actually, let's pause for a moment and talk about that. You hear a lot, don't you, that, oh,
You inhale. It isn't complicated. Ha! Maybe I was wrong.
we hear a lot of talk about how, like, game dev is expensive, and, like, actually, there's very little proof out there that game development is expensive. Very few developers will actually tell you the costs, or break those costs down.
Not sure I can.
Oh, can't shut the door, okay. Yeah.
Remember ordering more drinks? Thought I'd locked that thing.
The glassy-eyed gentleman before... Glassy-eyed, I've noticed now, is the second time in this fucking town. The glassy-eyed gentleman before you bears the miserable expression of the recently sober. I like that. He also smells like he's been pickling in a cask for a few days.
Thorold hiring right out of the villages now. You know your liquor from your ale, big man. Doesn't matter. We're out of both. Try not to slam the door on your way out, yeah? My head's going to pieces.
Thorold wants you out of here.
Does he now? And what are you supposed to do about it?
You can leave on your feet, or you can get dragged out by your ankles. It's your choice. That will give me an aggressive reputation. Galleon sneers for a moment, but something in your expression squelches his confidence in a hurry. He scratches nervously at his beard.
All right. Just keep your boots on. We're leaving. Thorold wants us out on the streets so bad, so be it.
You serious, Galleon? Where are we supposed to go?
I'll take it.
Through the room. Right, no, Grund.
Ah, a new face. You've heard, of course, that Norgund remains the most reliable and discreet supplier of mostly legitimate wares. Are you looking for something in particular?
Mostly legitimate?
I am an honest merchant, sir. But I confess that the tools I supply have an unjustly sinister reputation. How my clients decide to use these items is not my responsibility.
Ethical lockpicking, I gotcha. Yeah, just practicing. Well, I will buy 10 lockpicks, absolutely. Ooh, stuff. Thief's Putty. 2 mechanics. This clay-like unguent smells of lilac and chalk. When applied to hands and wrists and hands, it steadies and quickens the body and mind, making subtle or delicate tasks simpler. Though there exist myriad legitimate uses for this concoction, its association with the criminal element tarnishes its reputation across the era. Scorching venom poisons. Applies poison to the next weapon attack. It clears on weapon switch. Burning solution does poison damage. Okay. Coral snuff. Keyword drugs. In and out of combat, but when the effects wears off, the user solves the penalty until they rest. Oh, okay. Nice. Swift. Cinder bomb. Bombs. Nice. I forgot to give someone a minor ring of depletion. Shota, you can have this then. So, let's now see our good friend here, Thorol.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
We'd out that room for you.
Hey, good work. Times like these, I can't afford to keep on anyone who can't pay their tab. The second word got around, I'd have every pauper in the city on my doorstep. The room's yours if you want it. And for a job well done, here's your pay.
And reputation and 1,200 copper.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Any chance to sell the fight between Rinko and Makoa?
Mokeho?
Makeho.
That'll be the Juana the poor fool got into a dust-up with, I expect. Yeah, I saw it. Made a real mess, they did. The two of them were having a game of cards, far as I could see. Guess things between them soured in a hurry. I kicked the Juana out, had a few men carry what was left of Rinko home.
Do you know who started it?
Could have been anything. Rinko doesn't know when to quit talking, and some of those Juana are real serious types. As far as I'm concerned, we owe the Storm Speaker for keeping the town in one piece. Don't mean I'd invite her people over for tea.
So they were playing against each other.
Well, yeah. Think maybe Rinko wasn't expecting one of the Juana to know the game so well. He looked real nervous by the end.
Do you know Rinko?
Well, no more than most. He's a hard man to like, let's say. Came here with the wife, an Animancer, one of Odorisi's lot. The governor could tell you more there. Sure. Just hope you don't mean to dredge anything up again. Leave the feuding for the Blue Bloods.
Know anyone who's... oh no, what can you tell me about Port Maje?
Guess you haven't exactly seen the prettier side of the place since you landed, right? It's the only town on the island, if you don't count Sarahuzi, little Juana village out west. Really is a decent place most days. Good trade, and plenty of money rolling in from Claudio's investors. Damn sight quieter than back home, but I don't have to tell you about the Beardwood. Ain't right doing business sober. I could fix that for you.
I call it the Kraken's Eye.
What else? It was the glory of my fighting years. The beast pulled nearly 7 full crews into its belly before it was brought down. I was at the helm that day, and for that, my captain gifted me one of the beast's eyes.
Thorol's eyes glitter with pride as he points to the wall just right at the counter.
My proudest moment and my dearest treasure. I would not part with it for all the world.
No one to looking to make some coin? I need someone who could hold their own and fight.
Folks come by here all the time hunting for work. Let's see who we can scrounge up.
So we can hire a level 3 adventurer if we want to. Or, we can have one of these characters. From the beginning of the game. Nice. Let's have a look at your store though. I don't want to deal with any sort of morale stuff yet. I mostly just want things for crafting. Ah, we could try and steal the Kraken's eye.
Let's keep quiet.
Real quiet now.
Damn. Oh well. That's all theft. Okay, that's fine. So if we do want the Kraken's eye, at least it's there. We can use it as part of the crafting thing. So we've practically seen just about everything there is to the town. We've been to Rinko's home, we've been to the hall, we've been there, so I think it's time to move up a little bit into the world. In fact, why not? Let's see the cannons.
A spy, no doubt about it.
Quite the dramatic entrance for a spy.
Royal Deadfire Company works with all types.
On a deal with ship, they don't have the imagination.
Oh, let's talk about ours.
Race you to the coral. No contest. What? Just because you have webbed fingers and I can't swim?
I don't think there's anyone else here.
No word from the Animancers?
Not a thing.
Don't think there's anyone else I need to talk to here in town. So we'll continue up and we'll see if there's anything else around. So we're currently there in the harbour. So a lot of the maps look like this. So when you're in the cities, and I love the style as well, and it sort of tells you as well the faction there. Tells you, I love this information. Look at all this here. It's magnificent. Oh, and you can leave town on foot or by sea. You can buy supplies. Okay, there you go. Like that, for example. So we can go to Gorechi Street, or we can go to Satahuzi. But yeah. So the religions here, they worship Ondra, necessarily, absolutely. Boudica, interesting, and Erthas. They import wheat, silk, leather, cotton textiles, animancy equipment, and marble. They export palm oil, volus, arak, rice, fish, and Ingwithan relics. Their government is a chartered Dekal governorship. Their governor is Giasis Clario. The races, most of the people here are Island Armoa, such as myself, Ocean Folk, and other, 4%. So that's all the others. But yeah, so we're going to go to Godachi Street. It takes about an hour to get there, so that's what we'll do. Yeah, I love this system. I love the maps there as well. It reminds me of Pathfinder 2, Wrath of the Righteous. I think they had maps quite similar. I didn't play much of that game. I must get back into it, but I wasn't overly keen on that. As you make your way across along the other side of the streets of Port Maje, you come across visible traces of the storms passing. As you make your way along the side of the streets of Port Maje, you come upon visible traces of the many of the houses here boast cracked windows, panes, and sagging awnings as you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are slick with water and silt. Before long, you're ankle deep in sucking mud and loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water levels rise to the knees. Most of Port Maje's residents have fled this region for dry land. But the number of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash suggests you're not entirely alone. Let's see, hell. Look at that, we've got Fog of War as well, so that's not good. Don't let them leave! We can't have any witnesses. Do I have that healing spell? Where I recover health.
We're dropping like flies. Rebirth.
Jody's done for.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it? That's interesting. Also, as well, yeah, I don't get second wind. It's not like a default class thing anymore, it seems.
Yeah, sure thing.
Right. Oh, that's why I wanted to... Yeah, right. Can I... go to this one. Right, I'm going to use my power ability. I'm going to use my power ability. Yeah, I'm going to summon something to attack him. And you're going to empower Holy Radiance. I'd like some health there, please. Oh, no, mind, she's down. I'm nearly down as well. My Spectres killed someone, nice. Nice, okay.
What do you need?
Orochian calendar, New Year. Annie Orochi. While only 150 years old, and of alien origin as well, the Orochian calendar is currently used throughout most of the Deerwood and the surrounding areas. Whilst Deerwood was using the Adirian calendar until recently, they gave it up in favour of the Orochian calendar. The transition was easy to get people to make because the Adirian calendar was hopelessly inaccurate. Orochio calculated that it takes the planet approximately 334 days to orbit the Sun, so he took the 9 months from the Adirian calendar and broke it into 16 months and 20 days each, with each new season consisting of 4 months. The length of each month corresponds to how long it takes Belafa, one of our moons, to circle the planet. At the end of each season, 3 days, not part of either season, are set aside for people to celebrate the transition. Lastly, the final 2 days of the year, New Year and Mid-Year, are used to observe the beginning and midpoint of the year. To prevent any confusion for the transition from the old calendar to the new, Orochio kept this year the same. So although the calendar has only been in existence for 150 years, it is currently 2823 AI, Annie Orochio. Orochio gave the month's alien names. For the Deerwood and surrounding areas, they'd call them by their translated names. The year is broken down in the following way. New Year. A day to celebrate the arrival of the new year. Of all the holidays, this one is celebrated by most people around the Deerwood and the Vailian Republics. Each new year is greeted with fervent zeal to begin things anew and start with a fresh slate. Winter months. 2 at the beginning of the year and 2 at the end. Deep winter, fin inverno, and late winter, tardiverno. Spring dawn, 30 days. Imprima, used to celebrate the transition of the world, rebirth and spring. Elthosian festivals are especially prevalent at this time, or were, prior to the Saints' War. Spring months. Early spring, pre-prima. Mid-spring, Maje prima. Deep spring, von prima. Late spring, ta prima. Summer rising, 3 days. Enestu, a period of transition from birth to growth. Many ceremonies are designed to usher children into adulthood and take place during summer rising. Summer months and mid-year, early summer, Preyatsu, midsummer, Majestu. Mid-year, a day of reflection and introspection. The year is half over. People who make promises on New Year's Day on New Year use mid-year to assess their progress and renew their oaths. Deep summer, Fonetsu, and late summer, Daretsu. Autumn falling, 3 days. In autumn, harvest celebrations happen during autumn falling if the crops were particularly bountiful. If the harvest was small, supplication is given to the gods asking for a better harvest for the following year. Autumn months, early autumn, pre-autumn, mid-autumn, Maje-autumn, deep autumn, Fonautumn, and late autumn, Darautumn. Winter dusk, 3 days. Ah, we've got a pronunciation guide here. In Inverno. Oh, okay, that's good to me, that's how I was going to pronounce it. Winter dusk is filled with celebrations of life and vigils for the dead. The world is returning to sleep, plants die, and those still alive raise a toast to another year. Winter months. Early winter, Pre-Averno, and midwinter, Maje-verno. Or Mazzi-verno. There we are, so we learned a bit more about the world. Remember, this will be a test later.
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
What's the last thing you remember?
Pain. I came to help one of the traders gather her belongings. Then other men came. They struck me over and over. Is that why I cannot see?
I'm sorry, but you're dead. Come with me, I'll help you.
Dead? Oh, but this is terrible.
Spirit sighs, wispy shoulders slumping.
Let me ease this one's pain, Watcher.
Dark eyes solemn, Zotique circles a lantern around the departed soul. Yum yum yum. Or something in the well. So I think Shoti's lantern should be something like a soul-bound weapon. And it's like it levels up the more souls you suck up. But then I don't know if that's part of a quest though. Protective Athasian charm. And death runs darkest before dawn. Grants health over time, reduces income and damage with the do it. Oh. If I'm not wearing a necklace already, I am. Okay, that's fine. I think Shoti, you should have that one then. I like the vestments of Gorn as well. I love that sort of clothing style. Should have got an Athosian necklace on anyway. Amulet.
Pamper me too much and I'll
Yeah,
grow to
don't see why not.
Nothing but endless gray mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
What did you expect?
Something. Endless bounty and warmth and happiness for a start. Instead, I still feel waterlogged, chilled down to my bones. You seem to know where you are going.
Soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Watcher, you're talking to a lost soul, aren't you? I'll just shine them the light real quick.
The lantern rattles as a Shoti swings over it overzealously between you, siphoning the spirit's essence. Save again. Larry.
A little swim on Gorechi Street, Almawa, out with the other sharks.
Dingal's hand drops to the pistol in his belt, palming the grip. The faintest hint of a sneer plays out about his lips as he watches you unblinking. It's just something I want to ask, actually. I don't know if firearms have ever really existed in the Elder Scrolls universe. I'd like to think that one day we might see them. I think they absolutely do fit. Fun fact, the pistol was invented before the rapier. Just think about that, you know? Like, people often think of like, oh, firearms don't fit fantasy. Meanwhile, firearms have existed long before the whole medieval stasis of before. I do like firearms in fantasy settings, I really do. The less, in fact, ironically, the less magic there is in my fantasy setting, the more I like it, because I think magic should be rare. I think magic should be hard to do. Take a lot of skill and resource. I think when you see magic, like, imagine if you saw magic in our real world, it'd be fucking amazing, you know. But yeah, in the Elder Scrolls, I'd love to see guns. I would. I think there have sort of been like Dwemer guns at some stage, but yeah, but it'd be kind of neat. But yeah, I could just imagine like a Bosmer with a, a Bosmer strapped, For instance, what's you blinking? Okay, what are you doing here?
This is my street. That doesn't change after a little rain. That's Storm Speaker. She didn't concern herself much with this place, did she?
He kicks to the water, splashing noisily.
Me and my gang, we keep the peace here, and the locals pay their dues. Nothing here now but what they left behind.
Savia sent me. She needs you to put a stop to the looting. Hilary snorts, nose wrinkling. He regards you for a moment longer in expectant silence. He throws his head back, letting out a braying, unpleasant laugh.
Merle, she must be desperate. Not so desperate as to come here on her knees to beg for herself. But she said to you, no, there's my answer. I get my cut. There's no sense in ruining a good thing.
I'll prowl once, and Savia will owe you a favour.
A favor? Merle, I should buy her dinner, maybe.
A chortle. Hilari's brows draw together. He runs a thumb along his jaw, frowning.
I'll do it. Bon Piacco. Can't be too bad, having a commander in your pocket. Tell Savia this isn't permanent. Second the water clears up and things are back to normal, we're through. I'll spread the word. Gorechi Street is under lawful protection now.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't mind like seeing firearms in the Elder Scrolls. I get why that might take some of the magic out of the setting. Or well, yeah. It's like, because it's one of those things where I see it a lot, where like, oh, if there's magic, then why would you, if there's guns, why would you use magic? Because magic's still fucking powerful, you know? It's like when I was writing the setting for my setting of Nod for D&D, I have gunslingers, and I say you can be a gunslinger, but it does strip away a lot of roleplay, because gunslingers in that game are very rare. If you want to be a gunslinger, like it's first of all, it's forbidden to write the secrets of gunslinging, because when you're a gunslinger, you actually have to learn how to manufacture things. So you have to manufacture your firearm, you have to maintain it. As I'm talking, I'll just look for secrets. Yeah, you have to build, maintain your weapon. Gunpowder is exceedingly rare. Like, throughout your entire life, you may only have, like, this one pouch of gunpowder. So it's gonna last you all this time. Unless you could find, one of the few places in the world where there is gunpowder. Or you learn to make your own. Which, again, is very hard. It's, across the coral dot, the watery landscape. The bright blue is a colour. Yeah. It's like, it's like you devote your life to it. Guns are powerful in that setting, absolutely. They have to be if they're going to do what they do. But, yeah. Let's talk to the Storm Speaker. Seated upon a chair before the bonfire, Ikawa looks considerably more comfortable here in her home village. She prods absently at the coals with a long stick. Ikawa's face is pocked with fading scars, but there's no hostility in her calm appraisal as she approach.
I wonder if you imagined you would return the day you left these islands behind.
Her mouth twists with some small amusement.
They told me what became of your ship. I say again that you are lucky. It is the only ship that survives. I could protect Port Maje, or else its ships, but not both. Perhaps Clario thinks I chose poorly.
Perception. It doesn't look like this storm did much damage here.
To a storm speaker, the storm is a friend, gentle by a word. And Satahuzi is blessed with several storm speakers. We were able to shield the village from much of the weather.
So in older versions of D&D, even 5th edition had this, where like certain classes or certain subclasses are only allowed to be played by certain races. Like for example, if you wanted to be a dwarf, like whatever they would call it, like Madbeards or whatever, or like Madax, you know, if you wanted to be like a dwarf Battlebeard, you had to be a dwarf. There was some range. I think if you wanted to be an arcane archer, you had to be a certain type of elf. So yeah, so I like the idea. I would have loved the idea of like, oh, if you want to play a Huana Chanter, if you want to be a Storm Speaker, you have to be Huana, or you have to be Armoa, you know, things like that. You have to have these certain attributes. I don't mind that, to be honest, in RPGs. I really don't. The idea that like, because I think it creates new and exciting opportunities, and it's like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. On the one hand, it's like in World of Warcraft, it's like there are no Night Elf Warlocks. I mean, there are, because that's kinda how all the Night Elf stuff happened. How a lot of Night Elf badness happened. But typically, no, there are not many Night Elf Warlocks. So, it's understandable you won't be able to play one, or if you did, you won't be able to start in your own starting zone, because if someone saw a Night Elf Warlock, they'd be fucking pissed. But yeah, it does make sense that other classes and races sort of like do intermingle a bit. You can absolutely make it work in the lore. So, in a way, there's no. On the one hand, there's no excuse for a particular race to not be able to have access to all classes. At the same time, though, it's like the limitations can make things more interesting, because when everything's homogenized, when everyone's the same, it's boring. I like that diversity. Excuse me one second, I'm just going to nip away for a moment. I should be back in a moment. And I am back, sorry to keep you all waiting.
Some of it is mere luck. Most of our canoes were here on the shore. We did lose one of our voyagers. It will take some work to replace it.
Why do you allow these outsiders to stay here?
Do you not benefit by this? You are an outsider too. The Kahanga would say we are of one people. I have not found it so. But you mean the Valians, of course. The traders. They come with ships, guns, medicine, wine, and food. We gain from helping them, and lose little. In time, we will leave this island for another. If they wish to make houses of stone, to settle here and await far greater storms, what is it to me?
Sure, people see the giant.
Yes, one of the old titans, say the priests. Andra is angry. The why, our priests do not know. I am only glad it has journeyed elsewhere.
If I were a priest of Barath, I might be able to offer more assistance. The giant of Earthus is Earthus. I need to know where he's going.
Is it redemption you seek then? You risk much to chase a god across the sea. The Dawn Stars too wish to meet this god. What if he does not wish to be found?
Good point. Maheka is causing trouble in town. Akawa sighs deeply and folds her hands in her lap.
Mokeha is
Uh, she nearly killed a man. I just needed to return what she stole.
Mokeha is no thief. She has all she needs here. What need has she to steal?
Akoa's tone does not brook argument.
The Valians must be mistaken. Speak with her. You will see.
She nearly killed a man.
Mokeha could have killed him, if she wished to. Is it not enough that he lives?
She lives in your village. She's your responsibility.
If you wish something from Mokeha, my advice is to trade for it. Is that not how the outsiders get everything they need?
It's no use talking to you. Mokeha. The fuck happened in there?
What for do you skulk around in the dark? Do you not sleep? What for do you skulk around in the dark?
Fair enough. In fact, now. I'll wait. So you can actually say how long you want to wait. Resting is not allowed in this area, of course it's not. At least the loading loading times or screens are reasonable. It's midnight. You can wait till morning. Oh, hello, Shoti.
Gotta wait in my lantern now. Almost feel like I can hear the soul when I jostle it around. With every soul, my lantern's getting heavier and heavier in my hand.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did, recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Aora's end.
Face the lights with fairness.
I've seen stars
Business.
reaching a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness. Tell me what's on your mind?
What are your thoughts on Athos?
You talking during the Saints' War or after he died?
Interesting question. What's the difference?
Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died.
Adair gives the nod and wink. A wink.
I think a part of him did, the part he'd most closely woven into living flesh, the part that represented life, and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death.
Tell me about Athos leading up to them during the Saints' War.
I really only know what my folks taught me. Aethys embodied Saint Wydwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my high priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone.
So, as a reminder, Gorn is an aspect of Athos associated with death and harvests. His implements are symbolically important. The sickle reaps what is sowed in life, and the lantern guides the deceased down their intended paths and death and rebirth. It's generally believed that Gorn is at a Barath's avatars, visits those who embrace death with acceptance and understanding. His most fervent devotees are known as Harvesters of Gorn. Gorn is an answerer of wrongs and imbalances. This has contributed no small part of the Deerwood's enthusiasm for vigilante justice. Popular regard for Gorn as polarizing. He is appreciated, feared, and characterized by a grim sense of finality.
And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Obsidian, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god.
So, what's your take on Athos following the Saints' War?
Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, His darkness in the light is what's burning brighter in him now. No need to fiddlefoot around. I'm listening.
Fiddlefoot, I like that. Could you be swearing so much as a priestess?
Reckon not. But I can't help but be a touch wayward. But I'm not much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words.
I don't take it too far. Mama caught me once, naked in the Merkbury stocks. And of course, at fire. She waggles the sickle around in a helpless sort of gesture.
Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it.
Eddie nods in agreement.
It's time I got about searching for lost souls.
Shirty is one of my favourite companions, I think, in pretty much any game. Right, I'm going to nick all your stuff. The moons of Eora, let's read this. Look up into the night sky and you'll see the moon Balafa, ubiquitous and persistent. It remains forever in view, but also forever out of reach. What many people do not know, however, is that our world is actually orbited by two moons, Balafa and Calder. Balafa. Hanging low and large in the sky, Balafa travels swiftly in a race around the world, completing an orbit in about 18 days. This proximity and speed can cause extreme tide conditions in some areas, making the sea shift so quickly and rise so high that there are some beautiful coastal areas that are virtually uninhabitable for a good portion of the year. Before we learn the truth behind the cause of the tides, legend held that Ontra, the goddess of the sea, was in love with the moon, and when she saw it in the sky and the tides, great waves and violent storms had happened to her attempts to reach it. This is why the moon is formally called Sembalafa, or Ondran Balafa, the beloved, or Ondra's beloved. I love that. I like that. And it's nice as well that like the sciences have actually figured out how like the world works. Called her. 315 years ago, the Grand Empire of Valia suffered from terrible storms and a terrifyingly high and low tides. Records show the same thing was happening in the Aedir Empire, and that several new Aedirian colonies along the Deerwood coast were completely destroyed by storms and high tides that engulfed the settlements. At the time, during an eclipse, Glenfathan astronomers spotted something small orbiting near the edge of Balafa. After much study, they realized that it was a small satellite with an extremely irregular orbit. They called it Calder, or the Black Runner. Since it is smaller than Balafa, it doesn't have much effect on the world. But when it aligns with Balafa's orbit, it wreaks havoc on the tides and weather everywhere. This happens with an erratic frequency and severity that has been dubbed Lover's Tides. Calder has been rolled into the Ondra myth, and when they are both in sight, a desire to reach them is increased tenfold, which is what causes the terrible weather. Excuse me, I do believe that Dad's back. I'll just find out now. Returned, but for how long I cannot say.
You're a follower of the light.
Oh, you mean... well, depends on what you mean by follow.
Maybe you heard earlier. I follow Aethys too. Mostly, in a way. I mean, I am a child of the Dawn Stars, even if firstly I'm a Gonite.
That's good, I guess. For you.
Oh, maybe you don't want to talk about it. That's all right. Surely, some other time then. Was it the way I said it? Or maybe I'm in need of a washing. Fancy a look at the wares, my friend?
You're a bit out of the way, aren't you?
Cozy spot, right? Not much competition apart from the basket lady. And the Hawana have coin to spend and goods to trade, same as the rest.
Did you see the fight between Rinko and Mokea?
Did I see it? Best night of my life. She just...
She jabs the air, vaguely at the air, pretending to throw punches.
He was snuffed out like a candle, poor bastard. I assumed he was being his usual charming self. How he and the wife get on so well, I have no idea. Why do you ask?
Did you know how it started?
Not really. I saw the Huano woman bearing down on him, looking like a trouble. They argued for a bit. His buddies were dragging him down the road not long after that.
Never mind.
Best goods on the island.
So let's have a look at what you got. So mostly just ingredients. Shorewalker sandals. 10% stride and resolve. Shoes are good.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi.
Look at this. Pick his pocket while he's distracted. So first of all, this is one of your companions. If you just want something, you can just ask for it. I like that that's an option that just comes up. In fact, I'm going to say this. This needs to be an option in every single game. If you have pickpocketing, you have to allow the option to pickpocket every person you see. Assassin's Creed, ironically, did this first. Well, I don't know about first, but it did. It was the game that sort of popularized the idea that you could just walk up to people and just pickpocket them. Just take all the money. I think that's fucking brilliant. But yes, if you're going to do the whole thing of talking to people and you have the option to do it once, you have to do it every time. It's always funny. It doesn't ever get old. What do you want to ask?
She means well. I can see that. And she's spirited, and if I was still young and didn't know the things I know, it'd be different. But anybody got that much faith in any god, let alone Aethys? I don't know how to talk to someone like that. Not these days. I get why she's like that. And I was there once, a long time back.
His eyelids flare with relived embarrassment.
But it's because of that I can't see a way to respect it. I'm no good at hiding it from her either. I don't see this getting better.
There's more to her than you're giving credit for.
Doesn't seem like she's any different than what she shows.
She's a Dawn Star, but she doesn't worship Aethys. She worships God. She worships Gorn.
Same thing, really. That's just her trying to find a way to worship Aethys that makes sense to her. I guess that sounds familiar now that you mention it.
So yeah. Again, I really want to know this idea of like, look, we know how the gods, who the gods really are, and what the gods really are. I think we need to definitely have more of that dialogue.
I'll say the captain is quite handsome. But sister, they are so small.
Okay. We've had a look around enough. You also, Juana? What is your tribe?
Amura's winds blow sweet upon you.
Thank you. Right, where's our friend? Let's check something as well. Okay. Are you back in your house? No.
When I was little, me and my brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
Oh, we did that sometimes. Only my brother usually had a hand in the bleeding.
He older or younger than you? Either way, I bet he's just as strapping.
Older. Was older. Then Raid Sarah's invaded.
Oh, I didn't... I mean, of course, that's... Gone, but I'm so sorry.
And like Adair's not exactly cold. Properly cold to her. Or anything like that.
May Amira's winds blow sweet. May Amira's winds blow sweet.
There you are. The Amara woman steps sideways, angling herself towards you, meets your gaze with an intense stare.
Do you come with the traitor's brother? Or have the Kahanga chased you from Nekataka? You are not one of ours.
The great and ancient city of Nekataka is so old that its foundations are said to predate the great Huana catalysm of legend. In recent years, the native Huana population has been crowded by the arrival of alien and remote island colonists, traders, and soldiers. You are not one of ours. The lip curls specifically.
I do not know you. What do you want?
Rinko says that you robbed him during a card game.
Rinko?
She scoffs in a guttural burst of sound.
The Valian? You jest, Akira. I should have thrown him into the sea. He dares to call me a thief?
Why don't you tell me what really happened?
Akira, you even speak like your Valian friends. Empty smiles and empty words. What else? The Valians are fools. But Akawa wishes to trade, so we must be patient. We must save them from Nagate's storms. Even when they ignore our advice. Ikawa told me I should see the tavern, speak with their people, learn patience. The trader Eophania, she taught me to play Valian cards. A simple game, but none would play with me in the tavern. I thought him kind, until I proved the victor, and he grew angry. Until he stood in front of his kin and called me a Mataru of Sadahuzi, a filthy islander and a cheat.
So, Mataru is the highest class of Huana society, consisting primarily of warriors and priests. Tribal chieftains traditionally rise in the warrior ranks. Mataru shoulder the responsibility of governing the other castes and determining the practical and spiritual needs of the tribe.
For that, yes, I beat him. Why does this concern you?
You should have told the guards you've been branded a thief.
I am no thief. Do you mean to insult me? I am Mataru. I am the guard in Sadahuzi. I defend this village. If I see fit to punish a man, it is my duty.
Intellect 12 with the rational. If a Valian broke your Huana law, would you be satisfied with a fine levied by the governor?
That is not the same. This has long been our island.
Makoa scowls at you. And with my worldly skill, thoughtful, Zoti rubs a knuckle along the edge of a jaw. Rinko's just a merchant. He can't fight you as an equal. Makoa opens her mouth to speak, then snaps it shut. She grimaces, averting a gaze to the sand. Traditional? Adair, seems please. Adair, seems please.
Consider this. He is Kwaru. It is not in him to fight the village.
The Kwaru are the artisanal... Sorry. The artisanal merchant class of the Huana society. Those skill and craftsmanship are respected. Those born of the Kwaru are not given the equivalent praise of the Mataru. It's not in him to fight the village, but I was impatient. I challenge you on Rinko's behalf. I think you should apologize for this. No, give me the coin person, we'll close square.
Then here is what you came for, though it is an uneven trade.
She considers the coin purse in her hand for a moment before handing it to you. Mouth twists into a resentful frown.
I will ask our chieftain to send a healer for that idiot Valian. Perhaps that will quiet his whimpering.
Oh, we've leveled up. Congratulations, me. Right, so before we actually hand in this quest, let's have a look at what we can do. So our diplomacy skill is pretty good, but I would like to improve some other things. What I like as well is that here it sort of tells you what your total is. So your party comes to assist. So even though I've got only bluff 3, my party is providing me 2 from Eddie, or diplomacy. I have 11, 8 from myself, 2 from them. Oh, it's the difference, I think. That's okay. Religion, streetwise, survival. So I'm going to use the... I like the diplomacy, so, but I like history. I'm going to go for history as well, because that's no insight. Insight's good. I like to be able to read people. Other skills as well. So I like mechanics, but I should also go for stealth. So gain concentration at the start of each combat. Concentration can be gained through spells, abilities, talents, or items to protect a character from being interrupted. Each point of concentration that a character possesses will prevent a single interrupt effect from being applied to them afterwards. The concentration is being revoked. Okay, this is like stacking, I think. Ancient memory. Friendly aura. Okay. Invokes primal energy, causing allies from within to benefit from constant health regeneration when the chanter is chanting. And it's health as well, not just endurance. The fox on the farm did run and leap. Okay, so I think that's actually a part of the chant. Yeah. Sure-handed Ayla knocked her arrows speed. Not bad. Amass a stray soul fragments to form 2 will-o-wisps that fight for the party. Rejoice my comrades, 2 fingers of daylight. I like the artwork for that as well. 2 fingers of daylight. It's like 2 fingers of drink. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So in order to unlock certain spells, you have to do this. So if I go for this one, my next ability, I could actually choose 2. So I could go for that, and then I could go for that. So Ancient Brittle Bones is an upgrade from this one. So this one, if their bones still slept under that hill, none can say. 3 skeletons fight for the party. But then, if I go for Ancient Brittle Bones, if a skeleton falls in battle, it splits into 2 lesser skeletons. So essentially you have up to 6 skeletons in combat. It's on for Revenge Eternal. Follows that one. So instead of summon a Shroud... Oh, summon Phantom. Okay, so the duration's increased. Okay, that's good. So some of these actually are really good because of the upgrades. So this one, and he'll hear a crushed upon the shield. The shield cracks. So this one reduces the armor rating of enemies in the area of effect, but the shield cracks each time the enemy takes damage. The effect's duration is increased. Nice. So that's really good against boss enemies. But I like Ancient Memory, so I think I'm going to go for that one. And I don't know what my defenses are, so I don't think I'm going to go for a defense one yet. 2 weapon style, 50% recovery time, and dual wielding. Extra speed while using the weapon in each hand. Reload time, I'll go for that one as well. Although, I already have my ghosty. 4 phrases. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that one. I like healing, I like being a support character. That's all good. My will defense isn't too bad. So now let's have a look at Eddie. So, you are really good at athletics. You're going to be the main athletics guy, I think. Stealth as well. Sorry, choose 1 active and 1 passive. I think your survival skill might be really good. Your understanding of religion would really help me though. Streetwise covers the basic rules. Survival, history. I'll go for history. Discipline Barrage, Knockdown. So we can actually upgrade Discipline Barrage to have Discipline Strikes. So what does this do? So first of all, it increases the focus of training and the aware inspiration for a short time. So, inspiration, like afflictions, are groups of effects that are applied to characters. Unlike afflictions, inspirations provide positive benefits. Okay, so it's basically a buff. So, smart inspiration, cancels and removes confused, charmed, and dominated effects for a short time. Okay, so aware. So perception increase. Aware characters have a 5% chance, plus 5% perception and 50% chance grace to hit. Okay. So discipline strikes, intuitive. So you get all the other stuff and 25% hit to crit conversion. That's good. Tactical barrage, acute, increases intellect and spell stuff. Or we can do mule kick. So instead of turning, basically knocking people down, it knocks enemies into the air and then prone, leaving them distorted. Disoriented. Minus 5% to perception are considered flanked and have 50% recovery for their actions. Nice, okay, so mule kick might be one to go for. What else have we got? Into the fray. Penetrating strike. I don't know if we need stuff like that. Weapon shield, determination, competent aim. Converts grazers of hits to hit. 30% of grazers to hits with proficient weapons. One-handed style. Could actually do that, so that's turning hits to crits and that's turning grazers to hits. The scaling effective as arms. Yeah, so he's not going to be doing unarmed attacks. What else have we got though? So, fortitude and will. Oh yes, hold the line I want. Get another engagement. Gain concentration. Do I want to improve one of my powers yet, or do I want to save those? I think I want to save that stuff, to be honest. So, I'm going to go for confident aim, I think. Astrona. Yeah, confident aim. Grazes 30%, turns 30% of grazes to hits. Because if he's a tank, his accuracy isn't going to be too great. But that's okay. And then we want Shoti to level up. So your understanding of alchemy is going to be very good to me, so we'll have that. Diplomacy, history. You're the religious person of the party, so we'll have that. So now we get to choose some more powers. Spiritual weapon. I like this. So you summon the weapon and you summon the lantern. All for the divine weapon specific to your deity and empowered by your faith. And that basically summons like a ghostly weapon and hits them with it, I think. A pillar of faith. It does damage, knocking them down, and errors in the effect prone. Okay, nice. And divine mark, some nice spells there. So the first thing I absolutely want to do is go for combat focus to increase their concentration. And then we can go for spell. So I'm going to go for consecrate ground. I would have gone for pillars of faith, but I really do need stuff like this first. But yeah. Have we been in the Chieftain's Lodge yet? I'll have a look around for stuff to nick.
Let's take a look.
I'll handle this.
It's interesting in some RPGs, if you steal, your companions won't like it. And if your companions don't like it, they will leave the party.
Amura's winds blow sweet upon you.
Doesn't happen so much now. I think it's just specifically where you want to go. So you can go to Rinko's home, Governor Clario's, the port. We'll go to Rinko's. I don't really need to see this every time, this animation. Yeah. Could do without that sometimes.
Mama brings me stuff from her work sometimes. Real old stuff.
Most days I'd fire up the kettle for you or something. Sorry.
I spoke to Mokea. She claims that she won fairly and you insulted her.
A surprise! The brute speaks. And you have survived the conversation in one piece. Merla. Perhaps my tongue was loosened by drink. What of it? Is any man who insults the savage's pride due a beating? The law is on my side.
Not if the money belonged to her.
You have no proof. Have a heart. I cannot work as I am. If I cannot pay my dues, I will lose my home. They will put my boy on the street. He does not deserve that.
It might help if you didn't call them savages.
Refer only to Mokea, that shark-faced harpy. May Andra's beasts feast upon her eyes. She cheated me. Are we to lose our home for the sake of Clario's alliance?
Confess to Damo, or spend the rest of your life eating nothing but soup. Yeah, take. Okay, I apologize for telling you.
She what?
Yeah, it's.
Let her apologize to my face, the shark spawn. Enough then. I am forgiving. You have what I asked for. I promised you a share of the coin. We leave it at that. You have saved my family, Ainiko. I say it plain. Agressima.
Yeah. I could have got him to confess, but I don't want him and his kid being thrown out of the street. Or rather, I don't want his kid being thrown out on the street.
Gods, I beg you, grant me a posting on the far side of the world.
Okay. Restoring order, the drunk sailor. Let's go.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
I convinced Ilara to keep watching Gorechi Street.
Perfecto. He's a little shitne, but a lazy one. He will not cause trouble if he does not have to. Easier to work with a familiar face for the moment. I can deal with him later. So, we have one small part of Port Maje under control. A good start. Well, here you are, for your time. If I had 10 men like you, the whole of Port Maje would be set right within the week.
Well, how about to do with the miscellaneous task?
I do appreciate what you have done for me. So, if you will vouch for Ruggiero, I will lower the fine. 300 pieces will cover what he owes at the tavern. Something you wanted?
I'll give 300 copper. See, so that's why I wanted to do their quest first before freeing Rigeri, because if you help people out, they'll give you discounts and things like that.
Well, good riddance to him. It's your coin to spend.
And look.
Agressima, Captain. See you at your ship.
What's left of it? So there we are.
Not sure I can.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
Oh, that's the done. So I think here's a good time to end, but we can have a look around the land a little bit. Explore some more. I love the aesthetics of this game. I really do. They've done a fantastic job. I mean, like, Pillars of Eternity 1 was a great game to look at as well, but they've 100% captured the feel. Leave town. It'll take me an hour and 47 minutes to go back to the Defiant. Okay. So we know of the Ingwith and Dig site. Over that way. So in order to get there, we have to go through here first. Oh, look at this! Footprints. Well, I never. Gotta pass. The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks. The sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. We can use our survival and perception skill. We will use Adir's because he's got the highest of the two. Adir makes sense of the chaos within the moments. No blood splatter suggests that it was not a fight, and your compatriot easily identifies the clawed prints of Zorps. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and expertly covered in dirt. I'm going to disarm the trap, and I will do it because I have the highest mechanic skill. The trap seems simple. You take care to disarm it and collect its component parts. Nice. Corrosive cloud trap. We search for the Zorps. You hear a series of quiet chirps and growls ahead, and make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Sneak closer to observe. You creep closer, parting the grass for a better view. A handful of Zorps snap and hiss at one another, shaking their spears and their scaled fists. They stand over the apparent source of their argument, a small pile of loot likely stolen from the other travellers. I can scatter them with magic. I can use Zoti's iconic projection. Shoti gathers essence around them before hurling a blast of mystic power among the Zorps. They belt out hissing cries as they flee from the sudden magical force. With the Zorps gone, you're able to collect what they left behind. You discover a few coins, a tattered cloak, and an old stiletto. Okay, cape and stiletto. Nice. There we go. Found some hardtack. Oh. Orchard. And a shipwreck. A shipwreck huddles in the crashing reef. Its splintered beams rising like the roots of the water. The wreck seems abandoned. We find some ammunition supplies. We find some water. There's nothing of value left. To the Ingwith and Dig site we go. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like, this here is the cover art of Pillars 2. And on one of the alternative arts, like for the definitive edition or whatever. Clearly the work of Ingwith and machines. Shoti bends double, hands resting briefly on her knees as she wipes sweat from her brow. Hoping to catch her breath, she glances up at you with a bright smile. So as I was saying with the cover art, on the definitive edition you will actually see a skull, a grey skull in the background, and that is a symbol of Barath, who has a lot of significance in this game. And of course she does. She's the one who brought you back. But yeah, hoping to catch her breath, she glances up at you with a bright smile.
Spare me a minute. I'd like to perform a last rite for these poorly departed souls.
She reaches for the lantern on her hip.
Please, Watcher. Without my guidance, they might have a hard time finding the light.
There are no departed souls here.
What do you mean? Just look at all these corpses.
These people have their souls sucked out by Earthus. So corpses are just empty husks.
Is that why they're so ashy?
Her nose crinkles. So big brain time. Exactly. Earthus caused the biowick when he passed through here.
So it's not just symbolism in my dreams. I saw my god walking through storms. Didn't know he created them. While I do thank you for shielding my pride, Watcher, I figure it's better to be safe than sorry. So if you don't mind, I'll just do a calling real quick.
I'll allow it.
Mighty kind of you.
She grins happily. With 2 intense strides forward, she unsheathes a sickle and lanterns, fluidly swinging each in a series of well-practiced movements. Chanting, whirling, weapons slicing in the air, Shoti's voice lilts and falls in an invocation, a summons to any departed lingering in the area.
Here's a final call for all souls. Last stop for the lost. Gather round now. I'll cut you loose and haul you into the light.
Swinging a lantern faster and faster, Shoti plants her thighs wide and then thrusts her arms up high over her head. The lantern rattles in her grip, and the light from within flares blindingly bright. In the silence of her held breath, your held breath, it seems almost like a soul should sift up from within the corpses, quivering in the air before siphoning into the lantern's fading brilliance. But the ashen bodies are bereft of souls, so in the end, Shoti's light fades without requiring anything. I could say, you got one. I'll say nothing.
It's my honored duty to reap and shepherd departed souls during their journey to being reborn. With Aethys dead, me and the other reapers gotta gather as many souls as we can. We'll keep them safe until Gon returns to hell and can take them into his divine embrace.
As a reminder, hell is the colloquial term used for the beyond in Aedir, the Deerwood, and Rotsaris. What do you mean?
Some lost souls. And here.
She taps the metal frame of a lantern.
And that's all I care to say for now. Let's go.
Fair enough. So yeah, so in fact, look at this here. This looks a lot like a footprint.
I'll take care of this.
I'm gonna save the game.
We got trouble, folks.
Well done. Well done, Shoti. That was just magnificent. I need to put some holy ground down. Holy radiance down, rather. Consecrate ground, that's good, yep. So, I've got a mode on called reactive music, so basically when there's combat, the music changes. Isolate yourself. No, I need that ghoul to go around that way. There we go. Well done.
Happy to oblige. Happy to oblige. What can I do you for?
Look at this.
I hear you.
With a general page. Whatever Odyrisi did to that last batch, it's working. We're seeing a much higher concentrations of essence in the House of Dardra. I only wish he'd left the rest of his on his methods. One of our Huana workers got to the jolt of his life transporting one of those crates, and that's on top of the last one that got blinded last week. All Odyrisi has to say for himself is that we were careless. I'm the one paying for these islanders' families out of my own pocket. At this rate, I'm going to be done with the one idiot who comes in out of this whole enterprise with less money than I started. Yes.
Happy to oblige. I hear you.
Oh no, poor pickle cat. No, deserted cat. Go on now. Gotcha. That will resolve. You'll want some booties, won't you? Gato! One perception for the party. Enemies are less likely to crits against your party. Gato.
Happy to oblige.
I'll take care.
Yeah, I think we'll have to continue this shortly because this is quite a big area. And obviously, because it's in Gwithan, it's going to be very important. Oh look. Well, look at the effects there, it's just brilliant. So yeah. Let's see, we'll come back to this in a bit. First, take this gun out of the Huana village and see if you can round up anyone willing to do a week's digging for pay. Try the low caste types first, the Raparu. They're used to hard work and they don't ask for much more than their share. As the lowest class of Huana society, the Raparu are designated to work as unskilled labourers and to starve in times of scarcity. Their status is a function of survival in the often unforgiving Deadfire and not a moral judgment. The Raparu are destined to be reborn as the Kurau or Mataru class in their next lives. Huh. So I suppose that's what the nobility tell themselves to justify near slave wages. Right, we're going to pause it there, and we'll come back to this later, because we've spent nearly 2 hours now, and this is a very big area, and I want to just take some time to take a break from the game. But I look forward to playing again soon. So thank you ever so much for watching, take care, and ta for now.